Hello, today we're going to talk about the new changes to the JP reporting tool. Just like the old reporting tool, you'll go in and enter your username and your password. As you can see, the main page hasn't changed with the exception of the JP reporting logo. On the left-hand side, you will notice that we have the CRM tool. Many of you have asked, what does CRM stand for? It's actually Customer Relationship Manager. And then you will also see we have only two tabs now, Customers and Active Leads. So if you click on Leads, for example, it will take you to all of your active leads that you have entered into the pipeline. As you can see, there have been some changes on the main page of the Leads tab. When you first log on and take a look at the page, you're going to have 10 default columns for you to look at. But what's nice about the new tool is you can customize it based upon what you want to see on your main page. Once you've determined the view that you feel most comfortable with, you can actually go and save the view so it becomes your default view. Once you've customized your view, it's now time to take a look at how to add a new lead. So on the left-hand side, you would go and click on New Lead, just like before. And the page hasn't changed from the previous JP reporting. So you would enter a new potential lead, just like you have in the past. Once you go back to the main screen, you can make changes or add actions to existing leads by simply clicking on the lead, which will become highlighted, and then going and clicking on the Action button on the main menu and choosing the action that you would like to provide within that existing lead. Okay, let's talk about the different menus across the board that you've customized. Of course, company is self-explanatory, along with market and annual GP. The aging button is new, and what the aging button shows is the amount of days that the lead has been in pipeline. So when you enter the lead, it begins counting down the days that it's been within your pipeline. Target completion is the date that you can put in based upon when you believe you are going to close that account. The positioning boxes show the different areas of positioning that the account may be in, and it's color coded, which is a little bit different. The next column shows the days since the last movement. So when you've put your account in, it begins the timer not only on total days, but also days since the last movement. So you can see if an account has been in a one movement level for a tremendous amount of days, an action should be required. Once the last movement has been entered into the system, a next movement is automatically prompted 7 days from the last movement. This is a suggested date that can be edited and changed based upon your knowledge of when the next movement should occur. What will also happen is you will be prompted 2 days before the next movement date occurs that something needs to be done within that account. Also, the VPGM and Director of Sales will also be prompted that something needs to occur within that account within 2 business days. You can also enter comments within this box, and these comments will also be sent to the Director of Sales or the VPGM. We also, in this main section, have the color-coded relationship bar, which shows basically the relationship that you have with the customer based upon the amount of contacts that you have made within that prospect. So you can go and actually click on the relationship box, which will take you to all of the contacts that you have made within that prospect. The understanding of the colors, the more relationships you have built within that customer, the more likely you will close that customer, and that will occur based upon time and projects and movements within that account, but also the amount of relationships and how deep your relationship are with those people, decision makers. Okay, let's talk about the two panels that have been created at the bottom of the screen. So you'll go back over and you will click on an existing prospect. And in the bottom, you'll see two new panels. One on the left side has all of the movements that we have identified as key movements within pipeline listed on the left-hand side. And then you will see bar graphs showing the history and specific dates that these movements occurred. The red diamond will indicate the due date when the next movement will occur. The right-hand side panel also gives you status and percentage of all of the movements that have occurred, and if different movements have occurred more than once. For instance, in this example, you can see that numerous pre-calls have occurred for this customer. You can also see on the left-hand side there will be an icon that will show that something has been put into the system. So you can go click on a pre-call plan, for example, and it will pull up the pre-call plan that was inputted into the system by yourself. In this example, if you go over and you have completed the proposal, for instance, you can go in and double-click on it, and it will pull up the new Edit Next Movement box that you can go in and make the change to the status that it has been completed. Enter comments, save it. Now what you'll see once you've saved it, up in the top view, you will see that the last movement has now occurred. It was 0 days ago because you've just updated it, and then it'll give you a week out suggested next movement date with the most logical next movement that should occur. Remember that this is all editable and not set in stone. Once you've noticed the changes occur on the top, one of the other great items that has been added on the bottom panel is it is collapsible. And you can also do a pipeline analysis, which really shows of all of the accounts that you have entered in the pipeline, what percentages are in each of the movement statuses. One of the other nice new tools is you can now go and look at a weekly view of the activities that may be due for that week. So you can look at all of the pipeline activities for this coming week or the week that you are in that needs to be completed. And again, they are color-coded, where green means nothing is due for that specific account, red means something is due today, and pink means that something is. That concludes the changes that have been done in the Leads tab of JP Reporting. Let's now spend some time on our Active Customers tab. So go over and click on Customers. Again, what it will do is pulls up and highlights in green your top 20% of your overall business in profitability will be highlighted in green. And then you can also see the tabs along the top. We'll show you customer, total sales year to date for 2010 versus 2009 total sales, if you are up or down within that customer in total sales. It'll also show you GP profit for 2010 versus GP profit for 2009. Again, if you're up or down. And then it'll also show you margin percentage. Also color-coded if you are up or down for the year in total margin percentage. One of the new additions, which is nice, is it'll also show you what was your last movement within this existing account and what is your next movement, very similar to what we've done in leads. Along the top also will give you dates of the last time you performed a site needs analysis, a QLSS report, or if you've done a clean zone presentation to the customer. Let's now use an example of entering a project within an account. So let's go over and click on Baylor Hospital, for example. And now we have done a clean zone presentation for Baylor Hospital. So we'll go up to the top menu, click on the menu, and now it comes up as customer events tracking, very similar to movement. And we've done a new movement for Baylor Hospital today. It will automatically load the account that you have highlighted. Then you can use the drop-down menu to pick the event. And in this example, we will pick Clean Zone. Choose Clean Zone, and then enter your comment. And then you can have the option of selecting your Clean Zone file and uploading it from your hard drive. Save it. And it will now place the clean zone date when it occurred for Baylor Hospital. Some of the additional tools that you can see that have been added to JP reporting. Again, we have the panels on the bottom, very similar to what we've done in leads you'll see in customers, which will have the movements and dates that occurred. The red triangles, or excuse me, the red diamonds will still show when the next due date for a movement is. On the right-hand side, you will also be able to customize and change any of those movements. And then one of the neatest new additions is what we call white space. And if you click on white space, for example, it will pull up the customer that's been highlighted, which is Crothall Healthcare, and it will give you all of the items that we are currently selling in that customer. And it will also give you percentages either up or down this year versus last year of total volume of those items. So what you can see is you've created a white space of items that can be sold additional into that account, and also equally as important, what products you're selling and if you are up or down year over year. That will conclude all of the changes that have been updated within Pipeline. Many of the changes, as you can see, will help you understand your business greater and also help you plan future calls within a specific customer or prospect. All of the other changes, all of the other basic fundamentals have not changed and still available during Pipeline. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask your Director of Sales or your VP GM or contact IT with any additional questions. Thank you. And